Here are 5 true scary stories gathered from the people of Discord. Story number 1. This first story comes from the Discord user known as Sage. Now this isn't a dream. It is my sister's childhood memory with one of my cousins. No one believed her, but both her and my cousin remembered the same thing. They were both young at the time. This story takes place 18 years ago. At this time, the basement wasn't fully built. They decided to play hide and seek upstairs. It was around the time that my sister started searching for my cousin, when suddenly, she heard something coming from the basement. When she looked, she saw a woman standing at the bottom stairs of the basement, wearing a bridal dress, smiling at her. Her dress was a vibrant white, so she called for her cousin. Upon meeting up with her, they both saw the lady. They were both equally terrified. They both ran into an opposite room, where they hid for hours. Once the rest of the family returned home, they checked the basement, and the lady was gone. To this day, they don't know who the lady was, or what she wanted. Story number 2. This next story comes from the Discord user, Hydra. I was 8 years old at the time of this event. I was in elementary, and there was a section of the school that nobody could access, but you can see it through a window. The window was high above the classroom wall, meaning that no kid should have been able to climb it. As I was studying in class one day, I noticed somebody was staring through the window. Somebody with red hair and a yellow face was peering back at me. I got so scared, I turned away, and I couldn't look back at it. I kept asking my friends if it was still there, but nobody else could see it. Once I got home, I couldn't stay alone for days. Even going to the bathroom, I couldn't be alone. His face was inside my mind. I know I have a wild imagination, but this time, it was too extreme. Story number 3. This next story comes from Discord user Red Hood. 10 years ago, I was 8 years old. I lived in a house with a big forest in the backyard. My neighbors used to tell me that this forest was haunted. But at my age, I was really gullible and adventurous. So one day, I decided to pack a flashlight and go to explore the surrounding woods. After a lot of walking, I found an abandoned house. Of course, being 8 years old, I was too afraid to enter the house by myself. So I called my big brother to come check it out. We entered the house and started exploring. Upon opening the master bedroom door, we noticed a stairwell leading down to the basement. Little did we know that opening that door would be the most frightening experience we've ever had. Behind that door was a human skeleton with flesh. Me and my brother ran as fast as we could out of the house. Upon returning home, we told our parents everything. They proceeded to call the police. After having shared mine and my brother's experience with the police, I was finally able to go to sleep, until I was woken up sometime later by a knocking on my window. I checked, but nobody was there. Story number 4. This next story comes from Discord user Pluto. One night, I was playing Minecraft on my laptop at 11 o'clock at night. My sisters were in their room, and my dad was at a neighbor's, was sitting at the bar in our kitchen. My back was facing the front door. I noticed my sister in the corner of my eye, just standing there. She starts walking into our dad's room. Our dog, who was laying down next to the table, gets up and follows beside her, then comes back and lays beside me. But I don't see my sister. After checking the room, she wasn't there. So I went to her room, where she was sitting on her bed, and I asked her if she's been in Dad's room. She told me she hadn't left her room at all. I was confused. I was left baffled. If that wasn't my sister, then who was it? Story number 5. This last story comes from Discord user Lexi. One day, my father was coming back home from a road trip. He was 15 minutes away from the house. He pulls over to the side of the road to use the bathroom. The road he's on is elevated 15 feet above the woods, with a steep bank on both sides. He begins to do his business, right before he hears a man's voice. Nothing inherently scary. A very monotone voice of a man. He didn't hear it very well, so he starts looking into the woods. It was still daytime outside. He starts looking through all the trees and brush, until he spots something tall, white, and skinny. Imagine Slender Man without the suit. It was humanoid, and it was dragging something. My father said it didn't look like a person, or anything alive. It was something long and skinny, like a tree branch. My dad said he has seen many things, so he just finished his business and quickly got out of there. Concludes these 5 scary Discord stories. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and feel free to share your story below.